for you and for me, for all of us. The road to the cross is our road to freedom, and He was determined to provide it for all of us. We can never provide it for ourselves. We can never do it for ourselves. We could never free ourselves. The road out is through the cross. In John, the Gospel of John, speaking about His sacrifice, speaking about the cross, the 10th chapter, verse 17. Jesus says, "This is why the Father loves me." Remember the voice upon the Mount of Transfiguration, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased." This is why the Father loves me, because I am laying down my life. I am laying down my life so that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down on my own. I lay it down on my own. Jesus' sacrifice that He was determined to offer was His own choice. No law, no force compelled Jesus. Sin had no power to bring Him off of the throne of heaven. He chose for you and for me. He laid His life down for all of us. All humanity. Even those who crucified Him. He died for them. For all of them. Not only suffering for sin, but paying the penalty for sin. He laid down His life for all of us. I lay it down. No one takes it from me. I do it on my own. Willingly giving up His life for all of us. Some believe that there is a law that forced Jesus Christ off of the throne of heaven and compelled Him to the cross. What compelled Him to the cross was His love for you and for me. That He would not be without us. That He would take away any and all excuses from humanity from having a relationship with the great God in heaven. He was determined to provide a way out, an exodus, leading us into the very kingdom, that promised land. Hebrews 12:2 said, "For the joy set before Him." For the joy set before Him, He faced the cross. He did it joyfully and was determined to face the cross for you and for me. The transfiguration conversation between Moses and Elijah leads all of us to the cross of Jesus. By the glory of the transfiguration, we see beyond the cross and see the glory of the resurrected Jesus. The hope of eternal life that lay beyond. Christ here demonstrates the glory that is His and His alone, that the Father has bestowed upon Him for all time and eternity. It also looks ahead to the time and the coming of Jesus Christ to rule all things. That in His glorified, resurrected humanity, He will rule all things and bring to pass everything, all things, and anything that God has promised each and every one of us. Glorified, dressed in white, that symbol of victory and righteousness. For by the cross all the powers of this world were defeated and disarmed. Colossians 2. Colossians 2, speaking of the cross. that way out, that exodus for all of us. Colossians 2, verse 15. He, Jesus Christ, He disarmed the rulers and authorities. He disarmed the rulers and authority and disgraced them publicly. He triumphed over them by Him. It is by the cross of Jesus, that object of shame, scorn, ridicule, that there upon Calvary, what appeared in the eyes of the world to be a disgrace and defeat for Jesus is a glorious victory for He and all of us. Disarming the powers of this world, breaking their power to rule you. Just as God broke the power of Pharaoh over Israel and set them free. The world has no power over us but deception, because they are defeated. Not will be, but are now, even today, at this very hour. The cross just demonstrated publicly what has always been and eternally will be true, that God is God, and that He alone rules. Through Jesus Christ, God has disarmed the powers of this world, anything that can enslave us, that can hold us captive. They are defeated as Pharaoh was defeated. John 8:32 says, the truth will set you free. That is the truth, that is Jesus, has set us free, has made the way open for all of us. John 14, verse 6, Jesus speaking to His disciples 2,000 years ago, but He speaks even this very day, I am the way and the truth and the light. I am the way. Jesus is that way out of sin, fear, oppression. Whatever might encumber us, whatever might hinder us, He is the way. Some purport to have a secret understanding. There's some secret knowledge that if you just buy into, if you just do this or do that. But the way is open through Christ, freely given to you and to me. What we could never accomplish or do on our own. By grace alone. Not through religion, not through some sort of body of works, or self-deprivation, or secret knowledge, or some sort of experience, some sort of emotional, ecstatical experience that is foisted on people, telling them that they don't have this particular experience, they haven't entered into the deeper secrets of God. The truth is plain and simple. Through Christ, God has made a way. That He is the way, the truth, the light. Through the cross, He has made a way for each and every one of us. Paul, writing in Romans 8, verse 2, that the Son of God has set him free. Even in the prison of Philippi, Silas and Paul, there their feet in stocks, the bars shut and locked. They were the freest men in that prison. And when the doors broke open at the shaking of the earth, when the power of God responded and the doors hung open, they didn't have to run because they were already free. So much freedom we forfeit. So many things we encumber ourselves over. Yet through the cross, He has made us free already. As we come into this season of the year when we discuss the death and the burial and the resurrection of Jesus, when our hearts and our minds are fixed upon the cross, remember and call